Corporate social responsibility refers to a set of rules, standards, and recommendations that drives organizations in the fulfillment of their activities. If the awareness on companies' impact on their environment and the related responsibility that is implied arise in the 19th century, it is in the late 60s with the book of Howard R. Bowen titled Social Responsibility of the Businessman that it turned into a structured governance approach. In this video, we will review the 10 key topics that makes up the CSR. First and foremost, CSR is the question of involvement. Adherence of stakeholders to accurate standards, contribution to a global adjustment process from concern to assessment and finally implementation. Leading actors of CSR are customers, companies, employees, suppliers, governmental institutions and local communities. To ensure adherence of all the parties to the standards and to guarantee their fulfillment in time, especially in difficult period or challenging context, it is essential to describe and to get approved these rules, to report in full transparency on the implementation status and enforcement of the guidelines in the organization. This governance should be performed under the operational leadership of a CSR officer and with the sponsorship of the board of directors. CSR is based on the conviction that ethical behaviors are profitable above all externalities. This challenging process is implemented on the business field by operating in an ethical and transparent manner and to uphold high standards of integrity and accountability. The necessary decades to raise and reinforce awareness on climate change, sustainable growth, and biodiversity collapse requires urgent actions from businesses to minimize their environmental impact. Beyond the known requirements, it is a question of finding the appropriate equilibrium between the necessary transformation with associated costs and maintaining the level of profitability, since otherwise there is a high risk of rejection by business parties and public. The diversity of social legislation in a globalized economy may create market distortion with negative consequences for the people. It affects social systems and disfavors companies proposing fair conditions. It is a curb to a sustainable convergence of social standards. But to avoid a regulatory burdens, the incentive of leading enterprise on good practices is the most efficient way to transform business relations and workforce conditions of each industry. Organizations, and in particular companies, are living spaces, fields of expression and actions, where people should thrive in all their diversity. Therefore, it is essential that businesses promote diversity and inclusion, and to create a workplace culture that is respectful and supportive for all employees. Because CSR emphasizes the importance of protecting human rights, it requires that businesses, through their footprint, respect and promote the rights of workers, communities, and other stakeholders. The globalized and integrated economy is driven by supply chain, but the process from production to customers is strongly impacting resources and environment. Optimization of supply chain as part of a global value chain can be a game changer. Therefore, CSR requires companies to manage their supply chains responsibly and to ensure that suppliers meet ethical and environmental standards. As an essential component of the society, companies should be encouraged to charity. Indeed, a set of existing tax incentives enable to take action in philanthropy process. Acting for good as a brand, an organization is profitable for the beneficiary, but not only. Being part of charitable programs helps companies to raise themselves above their initial corporate objectives. And through this, it gives a consistent answer to the people's aspiration for having more meaningful work. Because business environment is in constant evolution, because companies are living bodies, CSR policies and implementation should be constantly adapted and improved. CSR is a journey, an ambition that never ends. And this corporate approach that must be supported and promoted should be an important vector of growth and sustainability. this is what we had to say in brief about corporate social responsibility. I invited you to visit parisgovernance.com for more information, reviews on all fields of governance, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and finally, if you found this content useful, please click the thumb up icon or leave a comment below the video. Thank you.